Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the SmackDown review for the let's see, 18th of February 2022. Obviously, not the best of shows in terms of the nature of the fact that this is right before the Elimination Chamber, and it's really not uh, a good show by any stretch of the imagination. But it is what it is. Anyhow. Um, Still can't believe this is on national television, national free television, that is. Michael Cole, Corey Graves on commentary for the night. Contract signing Ronda Rousey and Naomi versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya Deville. It's a time filling opening segment. Adam Pearce is already in the ring starting SmackDown. Flair and Deville make their entrance. Cole points out that Deville's arm is set in a sling. Graves wondered how she's going to be ready to compete by tomorrow. Pierce then begins to explain the contract signing, but DeVille interrupts. She also notes that she knows how contracts work, but needs to explain the rules to Rousey and Naomi. Rousey said rule one is to sign the contract. Naomi, and the rule two is that she kicks tail. DeVille signs the contract. Rousey and Naomi make fun of her. DeVille mentions Rousey, claiming she could beat them with one arm tied behind her back. DeVille then announced that Rousey would have one arm tied behind her back in the tag team match at the Elimination Chamber. Rousey signed the contract. Rousey then gets in Flair's face and slams her head into the table. Naomi knocks down DeVille, and the faces flip over the table. They recapped Ricochet defeating Ridge Holland 2 weeks ago. When they come back in the back, Sheamus speaks with Holland. He said he's disappointed that Ricochet defeated Holland. Sheamus motivates Holland and told him to watch his match with Ricochet. Ricochet defeats Sheamus with Ridge Holland 10:52. Decent enough match. Ricochet jumps on Sheamus at the beginning of the match. He gets an early advantage. Sheamus then goes to the floor, following up with a suicide dive. Sheamus fights back and hits a backbreaker, taking control. Ricochet fights back, slowing down the pace. Sheamus slows down the pace with a chinlock. Ricochet breaks three and gets a knee to the face on Ricochet. Sheamus, Ricochet tackles Sheamus over the top rope, follows up with a moonsault off the apron, but Sheamus catches him and hits fallaway slam on the announce table. Ouch. Back from the break, Sheamus is in control, hits the 10 forms in a row, sends Ricochet back into the ring. Ricochet fights back, hits Tornado DDT, follows up with a springboard, flying elbow, and a standing shooting star press for near fall. Ricochet then hits moonsault for another near fall, gets slammed for 2 count. Sheamus then climbs top rope, but Ricochet cuts him off. Sheamus then tries to push him off, but Ricochet recovers and hits a Spanish fly for a close near fall. Ricochet climbs the top, but Holland causes a distraction. Sheamus goes for the brogue kick, but Ricochet moves out of the way. Sheamus always runs into Holland, but stops himself. He yells at Holland and jumps on the apron. Ricochet takes advantage and hits a recoil for the win. After the match, Sheamus yells at Holland and blamed him for losing. Sheamus then shoves him aside. They recap Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs appearing on Insane during the segment. Boogs grabs the mics and electrocutes him. In the back, Braxton interviews Sami Zayn. Braxton points out that Boogs isn't going to be at ringside tonight. Zayn quickly notes he has nothing to do with Zayn, said that it's one of the worst years of his life, but doesn't matter because he will be regain the Intercontinental title tonight. Cole and Graves discussed the Undertaker's Hall of Fame induction. He's the first member of the class of 2022. Not sure that he should have been announced first. Cool video of Undertaker character, and then they recap Roman Reigns and Goldberg feud. Previewed the match for tomorrow. Ivar with Eric defeats Jey Uso 238 via DQ. Jey and Ivar have a okay match till the week finish. Cole points out that the Viking Raiders come out without their Viking helmets because the Usos stole them last week. Uso backs Ivar into the corner. Hits a flying crossbody. Uso moves out of the way. Rocks Ivar with a super kick and slows the pace of the match down with a chinlock. Uso then hits another super kick. Ivar then recovers and hits a clothesline for a 2 count. He then follows up with a Bronco Buster and hits a splash off the top rope. Jimmy then jumps into the ring and strikes Ivar with the helmet and gets disqualification. After the match, Viking Raiders beat down the Usos and take back their helmets, and we're supposed to care about this. Why? Recap: Madcap Moss trying to get out of his match with Drew McIntyre last week. Drew McIntyre's final preparation. McIntyre makes his way to the ring addressing Happy Corbin. McIntyre discussed living in Louisiana in 2010 when the Saints won the Super Bowl and remembers partying in Bourbon Street that night. He said he ended up back at a police car, but that wasn't his fault. The officer recognized him and they partied the rest of the night. McIntyre shows footage of Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss attacking him at day 1. Doctor told McIntyre he wouldn't make it back for very long, and then McIntyre notes the match with Moss Anything Goes match, talks about all the ways he could hurt Moss. McIntyre then asks the fans to help him, and then they send him suggestions at Madcap Mauling, hashtag Madcap Mauling. Morrison Corbin interrupt. Moss makes a bad joke about McIntyre's injured neck. McIntyre promises to get revenge and said the Elimination Chamber would be the night the laughter died. In the back, Caleb Braxton interviews Intercontinental Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. He promises to kick Zayn in the face and retain the title. Sami Zayn defeats Shinsuke Nakamura to win the Intercontinental title. 18-12. But, I mean, hey, it's not that bad. And then, I mean, they're going to close with the face-to-face segment with Roman Reigns anyway. But 18-12 isn't bad. Cole is pretty well hyping Nakamura as a big deal. Zayn has a brief advantage with a side headlock. Nakamura escapes and catches Zayn with a kick to the face. Follows up with a running knee in the corner. Nakamura drags Zayn to the apron, hits another running knee, then goes for the knee drop on the apron back from the break. Zayn's firmly in control of the chin lock. Nakamura fights back and locks on the armbar. Zayn escapes, but Nakamura hits a sliding drop kick. Then he hits a sliding German suplex for a near fall. Nakamura then goes to the running knee, but Zayn reverses it into a Michinoku driver for a close near fall. Zayn then attempts the Tornado DDT through the ring post, but Nakamura catches him with a kick to the head. Nakamura then goes for the running knee at ringside. Zayn then moves, and Nakamura injured his knee against the stairs. Back from the break, Zayn works over Nakamura's injured knee in the corner. They then fight on the top rope, but Nakamura injured Zayn off of Nakamura, following up with a knee for near fall. He then goes for the Kinshasa, but Zayn dropped to the knee. Zayn followed up with the Blue Thunder Bomb and a near fall. Zayn then mocks Nakamura. Nakamura snaps and stomps Zayn against the ropes. Zayn rolls out of the ring in the middle of this. Zayn then fights back, slams Nakamura's leg against the ring post repeatedly. Finish come when Zayn blocks a kick and attacks the injured knee. Zayn then uses a small package to win the match and the championship. In the back, Aaliyah speaks with Ricochet. She praises him for beating Sheamus earlier tonight. She smiled at Ricochet and walked away. Zayn showed up and bragged about winning the Intercontinental title. They recap Bobby Lashley defeating Brock Lesnar. Cole and Graves run down the Elimination Chamber. Roman Reigns and Goldberg do a face-to-face. Reigns and Paul Heyman make their way to the ring. Reigns takes the mic and demands that New Orleans acknowledge him, breaks into a Roman chant, and Heyman said that it's the best part of his day. He discusses watching athletes in their prime, including Michael Jordan, Wayne Gretzky, and Drew Bledsoe, and being a former Patriot, while living in Patriots country. Or Drew Brees, Drew Bledsoe popped into my head. Heyman then mocks Brees and the Saints. Fans boo and break into a "Who That" chant. Heyman notes fans see Reigns in his prime tomorrow at the Elimination Chamber. Goldberg's music hit, makes his way to the ring. Goldberg holds the mic in his hand but throws it down Stepping up to Reigns, getting in his face. Fans break into a Goldberg chant. Goldberg admits he's made a mistake and said Reigns isn't next. Goldberg added that when it comes to the Universal title, he's next. Goldberg and Reigns had to stare down, and they closed the show. Weak way to go into the Elimination Chamber, but the Elimination Chamber is a throwaway network premium event anyway, so not that big a deal. Anyway, we'll be back with more right after this.